Sean McVay, you are incredible. You're also the youngest head coach ever to lead a team to a Super Bowl. He turns 33 this coming Thursday. Big birthday week for him, which means he will be just 33 years old and 11 days old, by the way, on Super Bowl Sunday. What stood out about this Rams win? And we talked about the pass interference call. We will talk about it again on the show. Stay tuned for that. But outside of that, what stuck out on the Rams side? Because another thing that sucks about the no call is that we're talking about that and not the awesome, resilient job the Rams did against the Saints in hostile territory.
Yeah, we'll talk about the no calls, but how about the great calls by Sean McVay? I mean, there were some plays within this game where I just had to pat him on the back. I'm sitting there nodding my head when I'm watching the game. The fake punt was amazing because they needed something to change the momentum of the game, and that kind of got them back into it. It sparked something within that team. It gave them confidence. And then the field goals. Late in the game to tie the game, they went for the field goal when they were on the 1-yard line. Everybody saying, just punch it in. Come on, you got to go ahead. Let's be aggressive. I said, nah, we have a plan. And then the 57-yarder, let's just keep this in mind.
How long did you say, man?
57-yard field goal.
The longest postseason game-winning kick in the history of the sport.
That's awesome.
That's amazing in itself. He misses that. The Saints get the ball at midfield, and it's Drew Brees. Game over. So the fact that he had confidence in his kicker to make these calls throughout the game, congratulations, man, Sean McVay.
I'd quickly say that this offseason, we spent a lot of time on this show talking about their offseason acquisitions and how aggressive and how bold they were. So hats off to Les Snead in that front office, because in the biggest of moments, Johnny Hekker throws two. Sam Shields, a late in the game offseason addition who missed all last year.
Not a receiver, Trey.
No, not a receiver, a cornerback. Okay, and then who made the big defensive plays? Sue and Dante Fowler. And then Brandon Cooks wasn't good enough to be a New Orleans Saint. They said, we got Michael Thomas. We don't need Brandon Cooks. Guess who dunked all over the Saints all game? Brandon Cooks. The list goes on. Peters and Talib were awesome yesterday. Fowler was amazing yesterday. Cooks was awesome. The draft picks, John Johnson's a second rounder. This offseason for the Rams was very highly scrutinized because everyone said you can't just put a lot of good players together and hope for it. Well, guess what? It was the best gumbo out there.
Talk about it.
That gumbo was some mix. So kudos to the Rams. Yeah, we're going to talk about Goff and McVay. Les Snead in the front office, and all those offseason acquisitions were awesome yesterday.
It's not all the stars. You got to celebrate the okra too, and every part of the gumbo.
It's the best part.
I've been banging on the table about this. You don't just have to beat the Saints. You have to beat the Superdome. It's 2-on-1. You have to beat both of them. Jared Goff beat both of them, and there was one moment in particular, 20-20 in the fourth quarter. It's deafening. We have a tie game. Goff has to run all the way out. Physically, it's Gerald Everett on the outside. Troy Aikman saying on the broadcast, I've never seen that in my life. He's never seen it ever. It was so loud. They end up calling a timeout. Let's calm down. Goff was saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. They couldn't get it off. So the only reason they called the timeout. Sure enough, Jared Goff comes back out of the timeout. The crowd never subsides. What's he do? He goes out of the pocket, run, and who's he throw to? The same guy he jogged out to talk with Gerald Everett, one of their bigger plays of the second half. Goff beat the Saints. Goff beat the Superdome, too. I didn't know he had it in him. He does.
Given his road struggles, given the fact that he's playing in hostile territory and they were up 13-0, and those running backs, C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley, combined for 57 yards, I never would have told you, knowing all those things, that the Rams pull out a win here. The resilience of this team, Jared Goff being lights out when it mattered most, is why the Rams won this one. And it's hard not to look at them as giving the Patriots a run for their money, given the way that Goff looked at the end of that game. Let's bring in Will Selva now into the mix here on a Monday. We are all